He did say there was holes in the standing answer.
I think that's what he said, yeah. But I think he said that was clumsy wording or something. What I would say is that I don't care what he says. I mean, in a nutshell, right? We believe that the textual variants that exist, which we accept exist, are because of
one inherent word from
yeah.
Allah.
Right, no, good. Yeah, so we don't believe in a fixed text. We've never believed in that. We believe in a multi-formal text.
Right.
The multi-formal text is basically the idea that the Qur'an, in its initial being sent down, revelation, when it was sent down in selected words in multiple different variants. And we have hadith to back that up. So for example, the Prophet said, "Unzil al-Qur'an ala sab'ati ahruf," that the Quran was revealed in 7 different dialects.
Yeah, 7 different readings,
Yeah, 7 different dialects and so on. So,
ahruf, as we understand, there was different modes for different people. So there was this tribal pride or tribalism in the Arabs, and it was difficult for them to accept the language of one tribe, let alone the revelation in that language. So for that reason, these variations, tribal variations or dialect variations were allowed in the form of these different modes.
Yeah, 7 different dialects and so on. So,
as even recognized by some of our own classical scholars, the tribal dialect explanation doesn't make sense. Umar and Hisham disagreed about how to recite the surah, but both were from the Quraysh. Sorry for the typo. In other words, they disagreed about the details, although they were both from the same tribe and spoke the same dialect. So this dialect excuse does not work. Furthermore, it seems difficult to hold that there are only 7 modes, or ahruf, to explain away all of the variants we discover in the various reports that scholars are now looking to, and the manuscripts that we are discovering. Of course, one could say that it was not a literal 7 being referred to, but this means that there is a problem with the literal wording of the hadiths on the topic. Now, as Yasir Qadi concludes, and this is in his old text, the number of ahruf is exactly 7, not more, not less. This is according to the most traditional view. There are more problems. If it was Allah or Gabriel who recited these 7 ahruf to the Prophet, and then the Prophet is the one who propagated the Quran in these various modes, how does this facilitate the memorization of the Quran or help in its preservation and propagation? The obvious, non-credulous, the emperor is wearing no clothes response would be to say, no, this actually makes things much more difficult and confusing. That is, how to sort out these various recitations and readings, the infighting of the Sahaba themselves over it, and the obvious point that the first 4 caliphs immediately move to eliminate these differences and unite upon one standardized text. Most importantly, it strains credulity to say that all of these dozens and hundreds of variations come straight from the Prophet. The easier explanation, at least from the Western historical academic perspective, is that these variations came later down in the chain of